If you've watched 10 mobile development roadmaps and still haven't built an app, you're not the only one. You've probably heard the same advice everywhere. Learn a language, learn a framework, build projects, get a job. Sounds simple, but thousands of beginners follow those exact steps and still stay stuck for months. Not because they're lazy, but because most roadmaps accidentally push you into something that feels like progress without actually moving you forward. In this video, I'll show you why beginners get trapped, the fastest way to escape it, and the real path to building mobile apps in 2026. And later, we'll talk about something most dev creators avoid discussing honestly: AI and developers. Let me explain what's really happening when you watch tutorials. You're following the instructor, the code makes sense, you understand the explanation, and you think to yourself, yes, I get this. That feeling is powerful, but here's the problem. Watching someone build an app is not the same skill as building one yourself. The moment you open a blank project, everything changes. Suddenly, you don't know where to start. That's because you are experiencing something I call the learning illusion. Feeling like you're learning does not equal actually learning. And if you've been learning programming for more than a couple months, this probably sounds familiar. You might have unfinished online courses, half-built tutorial projects, a GitHub account with very few commits. That's not because you're incapable. It's because consuming content is easy, building things is uncomfortable, and most people naturally avoid the uncomfortable part. But escaping this trap is actually simple. You must build more than you watch. Before we talk about that though, we need to address another thing that confuses beginners. What technology should you choose? When beginners start mobile development, the first question is always the same. What should I learn first? Today, there are 4 main options most people consider. All of these are valid choices, but beginners often make one major mistake. They try to learn multiple paths at the same time: Flutter and React Native, or Kotlin and Flutter, or iOS and Android together. That usually leads to confusion and burnout. You need to pick one direction and commit to it for several months. Now, here's my honest opinion. If you're a complete beginner in 2026, Flutter is one of the easiest ways to start building real mobile apps quickly, because it simplifies several things: one programming language, one framework, one code base, and both Android and iOS. That reduces complexity for beginners. React Native is also a good option, especially if you already know JavaScript. But if you don't, then you're learning JavaScript, React, and mobile development all at once. That can be overwhelming. Kotlin with Jetpack Compose is excellent if your goal is Android development specifically, and Swift is a great path if you want to build iOS apps. But here's the rule that matters more than any framework choice. The best technology is the one you actually build something with. An ugly finished app is far more valuable than 10 beautiful half-finished projects. Quick question for you. What path are you currently learning? Flutter, Kotlin, React Native, Swift? Tell me in the comments. Now let's talk about the real way to escape the tutorial trap, the 70-30 rule. Most beginners do the opposite. They spend most of their time watching tutorials and very little time writing code themselves. But development is a practice skill. You only improve by building things that break. So here are the 3 projects every beginner should build in their first few months. Project 1, a to-do app. Yes, it's simple, but it teaches something extremely important: state management. And that's where many developers struggle later. Project 2, an API app. Weather, news, movies, anything that pulls real data from the internet. Now you're learning API calls, asynchronous programming, working with real data. This is where development starts to feel real. Project 3, build something you personally want to use. An app that solves a small problem in your own life. Because at this point, tutorials can't guide you anymore. You have to figure things out yourself. And that's where real learning happens. Now let's talk about something developers argue about constantly today: AI coding tools. Tools like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, Claude, and ChatGPT. Some people believe AI will replace developers. Others think AI is useless. The truth is somewhere in the middle. AI amplifies skilled developers and exposes unskilled ones. If you copy AI-generated code you don't understand, you can easily create bugs you don't know how to fix. But if you understand the fundamentals, AI becomes incredibly powerful. You can build faster, prototype faster, and automate repetitive work. The real skill developers need in the coming years is not memorizing syntax. It's the ability to guide AI, review AI output, and correct mistakes. Let me give you a realistic timeline, assuming you spend 2 to 3 focused hours building per day. Month 1 to 2, learn the fundamentals and build your first simple app. Month 3 to 4, build an app that uses real APIs. Month 5 to 6, build a personal project and deploy it. Month 7 to 9, your portfolio starts looking strong. Month 10 to 12, you can realistically start applying for junior roles or freelance work. Everyone's timeline will be different, but here's something important to remember. Your month 2 will look terrible compared to someone's year 5. That's normal. That's not failure. That's experience. And here's another myth we should drop. You don't need constant passion to succeed in development. You need a system, a schedule, and consistency. Passion usually appears after competence, not before. Before this video ends, I want you to do something simple. Not subscribe, not like the video. Do this. Open your laptop tonight. Create a brand new Flutter project. Call it anything, and write 10 lines of code. That's it, 10 lines. That small action breaks the learning illusion. If you do it, come back here and comment "done," because that's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who actually become developers. Thanks for watching. Now go build something.